kind of splashes over. So I've actually seen where I've gone in and renovated a house. My neighbor thought, okay, well, this house is looking good now. Let me put up a fence. And he puts up a nice fence, and now he's doing his driveway. And a very, very old man. And so he's making his house nice. And he said to me, he wants to try and uplift his side as well, because I've made this house nice. So it's a knock-on effect, and
awesome stuff.
Keep the country beautiful.
How's it going? And welcome to my best property. And we're out again on another day at a different site. And today I got one of my boys. This guy here, he doesn't know what I know today. And I'm going to surprise him a little bit later, because I know he doesn't know what I'm going to tell him today. And we are in an area called Edenville.
Yep.
And that is out in for some of you who don't know where Edenville is, it is out in Johannesburg in the east, just not far away from the airport. Which airport am I talking about? OR Tambo. So this area, it's actually a vibrant area. And before I go on, let me introduce my guest. Should we go on with Mike, Michael?
Mike. When I'm in trouble, I'm Michael, eh?
Good. And this is Mike. Mike, how's it going? And welcome to my best property.
Great, thank you very much.
Awesome stuff. Mike, why did you choose this particular property to be your best property? I mean, you've been in property for a while, but you opted for us to come through here.
So I think, TJ, this is one of my, well, it is definitely my biggest project to date. And I've kind of put a lot of my heart into it. It's kind of what I love. It's the architecture that I love. Unlike a renovation where we do stuff that just like kind of it's for efficiency or to make things okay. I kind of had a say in everything from design upwards.
Awesome
to finishes and everything like that, which is kind of like what I really love to do.
Awesome
so I'm quite proud of this one. Can't wait to see it complete.
Good. Well done so far, because we can see bricks and mortar behind us. But ladies and gentlemen, who is Mike?
So Mike, I'm a guy from Edenville, married, 2 cool little children.
What's their names?
Ethan and Carly.
Right.
Carly is 10, Ethan is 5.
Yeah.
They like my everything.
You got a young family, man.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And you're looking fresh as well. Big. When I grow up, I want to be like you.
Yeah, you have to try and keep fit. Can't grow old and frail. So you got to look after yourself. I mean,
what's your background though? Did you just start off in property? How did you get into property? I mean, for me, I just didn't start off in property. I was a banker before, and I enjoyed that, traveling throughout Africa, things like that. But then I stumbled upon property. And when I really mean I stumbled upon it, I was online. Robert Kiyosaki was like, hey, TJ, how's it going? Come to my class. And I was like, okay, who's this guy? Only to realize that a couple of months ago, my wife had bought me the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I hadn't read it. Yes, I apologize, my wife. But I didn't read it, and I was like, poof. My mind, everything else changed to where I am today. How did you get into property?
Okay, so almost a similar story. Okay, so besides the fact I wasn't in banking,
sure.
I was working with in a family company doing disabled persons lifts. So I would kind of project manage an installation of a lift. So in a way, it is kind of in property, but just in a total different aspect.
Right.
And I was busy doing that. We were still living children free in the south of Joburg, and
I like that, children free.
Children free when life was easy. And my wife and I were in network marketing. Okay. Through this network marketing, one of their pitches was Robert Kiyosaki, and because Robert Kiyosaki wrote a book on network marketing as well.
Yeah, I've read that book.
So
I think it's called the 21st Century Business. I think so.
Something like that. Yeah. So we were first introduced to Robert Kiyosaki through the network marketing.
Yeah.
And we decided to read his books and got interested. And then we even did an online course. It cost us like 20,000 Rand back in those days. It was maybe 12, 13 years ago.
Wow.
We did an online course to kind of put a plan into progress.
Yeah.
Where we had to set goals. Our first goal was to sell the house we were in and buy our first investment property. And we had pages all over the walls and everything with all of our goals set out. And our first
vision boards, they called them.
That kind of thing, yes.
Yeah.
And our first 5 goals like sort of fell into place and went perfectly well. 2009 was when we bought our first investment property, a little 1-bedroom flat in Houghton Estate.
Yeah.
And then every year after that, we managed to buy another property, all sectional title, obviously. And then we joined various investment clubs and that type of thing, and they were teaching us sort of the wrong things to do, where they say this property, buy this, you'll have a shortfall for about the first 3 to 5 years. It's a good investment because over time it'll pay itself off. So we were buying these properties with shortfalls. So at the end of our 5 property journey in 2015, we had these 5 properties, sectional title properties, that were taking 2,500 Rand out of our pockets every
I feel
month.
You're not the only ones. We've all been there.
Yeah. So anyway, that's where we started our journey. We still have 4 of those properties.
Okay.
Obviously, not costing us anything these days, but yeah. So, and then that's basically where we kind of took the plunge to learn more about property and got our education, got a coach, got our mentor, and started our journey properly into property. At that time, I was a virtual tour photographer for private property.
Yeah.
And so I was coming to the end of my contract,
Sure.
4-year contract. So I decided that I have my small portfolio. I'm gonna manage my properties, and I'm gonna branch out and I'm gonna manage properties for other people.
Yeah.
So I did that. I was managing a small portfolio, and I realized that every time I take on a new property, it needs some work. So
Right.
I started a handyman business. And then I started a plumbing business and a garden service business. And I was doing all of this, and I was very, very busy. And then 2016, we closed all of those businesses. I sold my Merc. I pulled 100 Grand out of my Merc. And that was going to keep me going for 10 months and just cover my costs while we invest properly into property.
Right.
And that was 2015. And things have been very different since then.
So I did say in the beginning, this guy here doesn't know what I know about him. So do you know where I know you from? So I've known you for 5 years. So in 2021.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. 4 years, 5 years. Yeah.
From our education course. Can I say the company's name?
Yeah.
Legacy.
So this guy here, one of the days, this is 2016. Where was you 2016 December? I think it was on the 1st or 2nd weekend of December.
Andrew probably called me up to do a presentation on it was probably this.
It was that.
Yeah.
That was my first time I saw you. So I was a student, and there's a company called Legacy, and Legacy, they're everywhere in the world, a Robert Kiyosaki company, and they teach people how to do property. And out of that, this guy came in and he presented what he was doing as a testimony. And I was sitting there, and at the time I was in debt, heavily in debt, or about 5 million at the time. And I remembered when you finished, a flock of people went through to you, right?
Yeah.
And I sat there and I was like, this guy is amazing. But the one thing that moved me was that you had 2 kids, I had 2 kids. I looked at you and I'm like, he's a man, I'm a man. And I said to myself, what is the difference between me and this guy?
Exactly.
And the only difference that I could see, which was not obvious, was the information that you had. And from that day onward, I put it onto myself to start learning and learning and learning. And up to now, I'm a devoted learner. If someone asks me, what do you do? And I say, I'm a student. And I practice.
Never stops, eh?
It never stops, right? And that was my first time of meeting you, and we became friends after that, and we started talking about deals. We started talking about how do you do this? How do you do this? And being in a network of people where others are doing what you're not doing or what you're wanting to do, how has that been beneficiary to you?
Yeah, you learn a lot, eh?
Yeah.
You learn a lot just by chatting. So when I approached you maybe 2 years ago, because I could see you were doing really well with M5, and I was kind of at my ceiling because I was doing everything on my own. And it was tough, and I was like the go-to guy for anything. Plus, I couldn't expand further than what I already had because and this is purely for buy and hold.
Right.
Buy and hold deals, because I know that's where your priorities are. We chatted, and then I implemented some of that, and I've managed to, since the beginning of 2020, purchase 5 properties.
Wow.
With partners, yeah.
But let's talk about that kind of a conversation. Did it cost you money?
So I've had to put in a little bit of my own. The actual conversation that we had, it didn't cost a thing. No.
Did you get something out of it?
Absolutely.
Did it improve your balance sheet?
Absolutely, greatly.
Are you winning in it?
Yep.
But here's the thing. I think we don't know who the go-to person. And in this scenario here, I look like I'm the guy whom you were able to leverage off. But I don't know how to do this. So because of this, you are my go-to guy. Because you have done it. I can see you doing well on it. I can come out to a property like this one and I can say to you, but why do we have this door when I have my own development? And this is what the power of networking becomes very important. It's not just about having people on your phone. Having people on your phone is great. But also, I think there's something that we need to be talking about. Was it easy to just pick up the phone and like, bruh, can we talk? Because for me, sometimes that's the biggest hindrance. I know so-and-so, and I'm like thinking, if I call them, they are going to think of me of X. So I'm like, check their phone. I'm like, I'll call them later. And then I procrastinate. And I think that's a reality for a lot of us out there. Yeah. But just removing that away, I don't know if you have that. I do have that, where I'm scared sometimes to just reach out to some people because I think maybe they're at an unattainable level or they can't help me.
Yeah. Or they might not have the time to help you.
Yes.
Yes. And you would be kind of putting them in an awkward position. Now they have to find the time, whatever. I do find that with certain people.
Yeah. But you just do it anyway. That's what it is.
Get it done. What's the worst that can happen?
Of course, you won't die. Nonetheless, we're all going to die. COVID is here. But having said that, you're a family man. You got 2 kids, you got a wife. And in this whole journey, to me, it sounds like, when I look at your journey, the times that we have interacted in and out of projects, I've always seen you with your wife. I'm seeing, even in conversation, you speak about your wife, how you guys were doing how you guys went for these courses. How important is it, especially for a married person, how important is it for you to tag along in your learnings and in your implementations with your partner? Because for me, that's where I have seen the greatest achievement so far. In my previous businesses, I think I used to look at my wife as that other person that I need to come back and tell the results. Hey, we won this way. And I go out there. So I used to think, I'm the man. I'm going to go out there and I do it all by myself. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. But my wife was not involved.
Yeah.
And I found a couple of things very difficult there. If I learned something else, I needed to come home and not educate her, but kind of like woo her in.
Okay.
To get to where I am, and then educate her, and then. But then I realized that, no, hold on. If I go into training with her as well, we're seeing the same things.
You're both on the same page. Exactly.
The conversations from there on, when I started doing that, the conversations were totally different.
Yeah.
Whereas before, I was trying to convince her of the thinking. And now when we go in on these trainings, our conversations about how can we do it?
Yeah.
So we're ready to take the risk together. By the way, there is nothing that doesn't come with a risk. Just waking up, standing here alone, it's a risk. So you might be thinking that, me and Mike, we take risk. No, everything that you do carries a risk. What's your view around that with you and your missus?
Okay, yeah, so we are totally on the same page. She also has a passion in property.
Right.
She only keeps her day job because it pays the bills.
Right.
And while I build up our portfolio to replace her income, and so we can live with passive income.
Was that intentional? How did you guys come to that decision? Because it sounds like it's a goal to me.
It is a goal, yeah. So I would say within the next 5 years she'll stop working.
Sure.
Guaranteed. Yeah. So what we've managed to set up at this point. If all of those properties were paid off, it will sort of replace her income immediately with a lot more. So we just need to wait until it's a little bit more paid off. There is already passive income coming in, but it can't replace it. So, and then she's so keen to join me in property.
Right.
So she's been on board from the start. Yeah.
But Mike, here's my question.
Yeah.
Like me and you are married, so these conversations are not easy, right? Where the one partner is thinking that way, the one partner is thinking that. But here you are, your missus, she's already in the same passion with you. So it's halfway the conversation.
Yeah.
But to someone else who totally has no cooking idea and they're on different parts, when you started, what was the process that you took in to engage your missus so that you can now start setting up these goals and things like that? Because I think for some other guys, just even difficult, just having those conversations like, we need to set goals. The other partner's like, what goals? Yeah.
Yeah, so she kind of drove it from the start.
Nice.
She was, and I think it was actually her brother who sent us the invite to the very first seminar.
Right.
That you know where it all starts. It starts at a free seminar. I think that the speaker was Leroy.
Yeah.
He was up there and he told his story and yeah, it was me, my wife, my brother-in-law, and another good friend of ours.
Right.
And so after that seminar, she like kind of looked at me and she said, "Are we going to go ahead with this?" And at that stage, I was very, very busy in all of my businesses that I explained, and not really enjoying life.
Yeah.
And kind of needing to go in a new direction in property because I mean that's where my passion was.
Yeah.
And so we said, cool, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this, and yeah.
Awesome stuff. For some of you who might not know who Leroy is, somewhere here you're going to see who Leroy is. But basically, Leroy has been an instrumental factor in many people in South Africa, where he used to present for the company Legacy. And obviously, you can see what he's been doing with some of his other properties on the other videos that we can show you. But, Mike, enough about you, brah. Let's jump on to talk about this property here in Edenville. On how did you find it? We'll check you out. Boom, welcome back again. And now we're going to be talking about this particular property in terms of how did Mike find it and how did Mike actually know whether this was going to be a good property to do a development like this one. In case you haven't realized, in our background actually is around about 5 units, and these 5 units, Mike is going to tell us all about them. But let's start off with, Mike, how did you find this property? You stay in this neighborhood, so I kind of like think you know this area very well.
Yeah. So I do know the area quite well,
Right.
and have been getting to know it a lot better as well. So this particular property, when I first started looking for deals,
Right.
my coach told me, start in Primrose, you'll find sort of your cheaper deals and quick flips and that type of thing. So we were actually shopping for a flip.
Right.
To be honest, when we stumbled across this one.
Yeah.
So basically we were looking in Primrose. We found this really old little house, still had the family. My son was in a car seat, so we had him in the back, my daughter, and the family was driving around on a Sunday
Right.
afternoon. Anyway, we stopped there. There's a agent's for sale board outside this house. It's a really old house, something that you could actually work as a flip deal.
Yeah.
And we stopped, and the family was coming out. So we approached them and we said, listen, we're in the market to purchase. We see it's for sale. Can we come in and have a look? They said, fine. We take the car seat and we walk through this house with the kids and everything.
And Mike, that's the practicality of a young family. You everyone comes. It's a family business now.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're walking through this house and we think, okay, we can maybe put in an offer. Let's just put in an offer.
Right.
So we phoned the agent. We're sitting in the car now. We phoned the agent and he says, no, what's the address? We give him the address. He said he's actually just accepted an offer on that one. So unfortunately, we were actually going to offer him 400 and he accepted 600. So we were like, I wouldn't pay 600 for that. But anyway,
Right.
Good luck to that guy. So my wife told him, okay, please just keep us in mind for anything similar to that, old house, so we can fix up. We're looking for something.
Right.
So anyway, we go home that day. 2 weeks later, the guy phones and he says he has something in Edenvale. Would we look in Edenvale? We said we'd love to look in Edenvale. So he told us to go and have a look at one of the smaller developments where they subdivided into 4. Okay.
Right.
So with this stand that we on, it's 1,325 squares.
Okay.
It's a corner stand.
Right.
So it's a little bit bigger than all of the other stands in the avenues, which are only 991. So those ones you can only subdivide into 4, which a guy has been quite actively doing so. And he does these 4, and they're kind of medium finishes, selling for about 1.7. Okay,
Right.
at that time. So we thought, okay, cool, we can do better than this. It's not a very good layout of the house, whatever. We came and we looked at this property. We saw it was nice and large. It had a very old house on with a swimming pool in the corner.
Yeah.
About 8 massive, eerie pine trees creating shadows over the whole thing. It was like out of a haunted story. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, they wanted 1.2. We got them down to 1,050,
Right.
and we purchased it. And then we got stuck in with architects and town planners. Obviously, all provided. All of those contacts were provided from our coach.
So hold on. You went in to put in an offer on R1 million. At this time, what are you thinking? What are you going to do with the property?
Okay, so we knew that the subdivision was possible. It's happened.
Yeah.
It's happened in the area and
Sure.
quite a lot in the avenues.
Right.
So we knew we could do something like that.
Right.
Just from looking at the other one that we looked at, we knew we could do better.
Okay,
A
good.
lot better for
Yeah.
just a little bit of a higher price.
Right,
Yeah.
and with your background of your renovations, because you got what they call an unfair advantage. And by the way, anyone can have an unfair advantage. You just need to know how to do it, right? And your unfair advantage here was you are in the construction space. You've got a company that does plumbing, renovations, things like that. So you're very close in terms of understanding numbers and things like that and what you can do on a property. So your mind is not totally blocked, and so you jump into it now, and I almost want to have the conversation of, if I was you, I might have wanted to do all the investigations up front, but because you've got the unfair advantage, you were comfortable to put in a 1 million rand offer. But also looking at your previous deal, you had lost out because your offer came in, well, you didn't put in an offer. By the time you go there, someone else had already taken the deal. So you needed to act fast, right? And then thereafter, the investigation started.
Yeah.
So who else did you need to bring in on this project? So firstly, it was your estate agent, yes. You go through, you got the offer now, and then thereafter, what happened?
So our very next site visit was with the town planner and
Right.
architect.
Right.
And coach, obviously.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so all of us came through.
And who was your coach at that time?
Andrew Walker.
No, that's my coach.
He was my coach first.
Okay, fine. We share the coach.
We share the coach.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, coaches are shareable.
Yeah,
so,
good.
So, yeah. So the three of us came on board, on site, and town planner kind of told us that we would definitely get approval for subdividing. So that part was like in our heads, in our minds, it was done.
Yeah.
We just didn't realize that we could get 5 instead of 4. So
Wow.
we were still thinking, okay, 4, and then we managed to squeeze a 5th one on, which is like
Which is a bonus.
Yeah, total
Right.
bonus. Yeah.
Right. And then at that time, the question that I want to ask now is that at that time, did you already know that if you're going to build 4, did you know that you actually had the money with you? So it was like no-brainer, 1 million, baby, we've got this. And, you're going to be the developer, and, you're doing this already. I'm just going to throw.
No, nothing like that. So the way it worked out was we put down a deposit, 80% deposit, 200,000 rand.
Right.
We bonded the 800,000.
Sure.
Okay. We didn't have money to put into this property.
Sure. Isn't that risky, Mike? You're going into a project, you've got no money. How are you going to do it?
Yeah. So our plan was to sell off plan.
Right.
All of them off plan. Okay?
Right.
So yeah, you don't really need all of that cash up front. But then we kind of thought, okay, now if we had the drawings done and they looked very good. The 3Ds were great, but we were thinking from a purchaser's perspective, like we're going to have a show day. Yeah, it's going to be this old house. People are going to walk in. We're going to show them drawings of what could be. And we thought, you know what, like we have to try to sell ourselves and this as like somebody's going to give us 2.3 million rand, and like we haven't got anything.
Yeah.
So that's when we decided to get an angel investor on board and build the show house.
Right.
So that's the step we took from there.
The strategy that you speak of, where you actually have a piece of land, it's just vacant, and you sell off plan. So all you're doing is you're showing what it can be.
Exactly.
A lot of developers have done that.
Yeah.
I know lots of people that have bought houses like that.
Yeah.
And it takes maybe about 6 months to a year, and then, whether it's a unit or a house like this, it's done, right? So it doesn't mean that the market is not there. But you decided another route, right? And that route was now, let's build something. So you brought in an angel investor and you built your first property.
Yeah.
And was this your first property to build from ground up, or yeah?
So in 2011, I built my home from ground up. Yeah. So
Okay.
I had been on a site that has done that.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the unfair advantage that I'm talking about, you see. So there you are, right? And so you built this one. But you speak of an angel investor. How difficult is it to get these angel investors? I mean, lots of people speak about them. Yeah.
So once again, the coach comes into play. He
Right.
put me in touch with the right people that he knew would invest in something like this.
Yeah.
And basically we managed to get some people on board quite quickly.
Right.
Yeah.
So now your show house is done. Where is the show house now? I mean, do you still have it? This project looks like, it's still a construction site. We're going to jump into some of the units so that you can show us around. But on the show house, have you sold it now? Are you staying there? What's happening?
So when the show house was complete,
right,
we had the whole boundary wall up with electric fence, with the main gate. And
why did you have the boundary? Why did you put up the boundary first?
Just to secure the site, because there was one complete home, and the finishes are quite high.
Sure.
And then also the story with the vagrant that I was telling you earlier. When it was still an old house, the vagrant kept on coming through, claiming it was his house, and he smashed windows, he cut his arm, he bled all over the place.
Sure.
I had to come in here with the cops. I thought there was a dead body inside.
Really?
In the old house before we demolished it, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, he was stealing the pipes, the cables, everything, and we didn't want him to have access to now a brand new house.
Sure.
If he had come back.
So, I mean, that's a lot of money. It's not your money.
Exactly.
So so well done on that.
So we just secured it. But then basically the show house was finished. We secured the site and everything. I launched the development.
Right.
Had a couple of show days which I ran myself, and had a good few feet coming through here.
Yeah.
A young couple came in. They loved the place. Within the first month, I sold the show house and I sold this unit that's behind you.
Wow.
This one was off plan, obviously, and
yes.
And then obviously we extracted. That was a cash sale. The gentleman's dad gifted them the house, newlywed from Germany. There we go. So
nice.
Some people.
There are people like that out there.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy. So anyway, we pulled all that cash and we paid off the angel investors, and then we carried on. Yeah.
Right. So whilst we are talking, behind me we can almost say this is unit number 1. Right, and we can say this is unit number 2, and right in behind us where we are facing is 3 other units that we are going to show you, and the one that we are talking about to say that is the one that sold off is that one there on the far extreme right, and that's the one that sold, and that sold for literally cash when Mike was here as the sales agent. No, you were the developer, you were the project manager, you were the sales agent.
Exactly that, yeah.
Potentially you were the cleaner and everything else that was happening here, which is a tough job.
It's very time consuming. I never had weekends for a little while.
But the reward was good.
Yeah.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's jump in to go and see what they bought. Whilst we are actually, these 3 are still under construction, so we're going to jump in to see which one we can see in and out. So Mike, as one is here, right, they will drive in here, and I can see this guy's got like a close-off garage. Those ones got a close-off garage. I mean, why didn't you do a carport? I mean, a carport is much easier, cheaper for you as a developer.
It is. Okay, so a carport would have worked if we had a little bit more space.
Right.
So we kind of incorporated some living area on top of the garage. Also for the price we are charging, it's almost expected, a double garage, three bedroom plus for the kind of amount that we are charging, like a complete lock up and go.
So behind you here, this is the unit. So it starts from here, double garage. And on top there, what do you have?
So downstairs is lounge, dining room, kitchen, scullery.
Right.
And the double garage.
Right.
Upstairs is 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Sorry, there's a guest loo as well downstairs.
Right.
3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plus a small study area and a double volume.
Okay.
Double volume area.
So for that reason, let's jump in here. And so this unit here is not 100% done, yes. So we're going to go in. How far are you on this property?
We'd probably be about 85%, 90%. It is going to be complete within 2 months.
So
all three houses.
In terms of the project, where are you now? You have sold off 2? You got 3 to go?
So no. So the two behind us with the closed off garages, they are sold and actually occupied at the same time.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well done.
Thank you. And then this unit here, transfer is busy going through.
Right.
And then this unit here, transfer has already gone through, also sold. And so we've just left with the one in the corner, which we're going to complete. We're funding it ourselves, complete it, and then sell it as a complete unit.
So you're left out. If you were thinking that you might want to come and stay here, only one is left. If you don't come now, sorry for you.
Get my number from TJ.
That's it. So once we are coming in here, this is the garage, right? You can easily fit in 2 cars in here.
Yeah.
Easy, right? And then I see you've got, it goes outside. And this becomes what, the garage maybe?
No, so this is basically your back garden.
Not your garage. What am I thinking of? So this is your back garden.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Around that side will be courtyard where your wash line and stuff will go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. And here's your main road here, and then the entrance is on the other side.
On the quieter road, that's it, yeah.
Okay, cool, nice. So Mike, we're talking about this, the garage, right? And pretty interesting. I'm always wondering, why do you have white throughout the building?
So it's actually not white. It's a color that's called grey steel. Grey steel 3.
Doesn't look like grey to me.
It looks white, and it's actually quite an interesting color. I like the color.
Sure.
If you compare it to white, you'll see that it's actually like a few shades darker. Okay. But if you paint that color on an interior wall, it's a much darker grey, and then outside it's exactly the same paint, but it looks lighter outside. So yeah, because I wanted the contrast of the charcoal and the lighter color.
Right.
Yeah, just looks good together.
Okay, good. So once someone else has driven in here, they park their cars.
Yes.
And where are they heading into now here?
Okay, so they would come in. Also, the one of the better things about a garage is versus a carport is that you're completely out of the rain.
Sure.
So you'll drive in, you'll come through here, and you enter your house in the lounge.
Yeah.
Okay. Where I've kind of put internet ports. So you can sort of decide where you want your TV to go. You've got the internet ports coming through the bottom. Walk through, and dining area is over there. And then kitchen, like all open plan, so that it just sort of flows nicely for entertainment and that type of thing.
Okay, cool. And what's in that lobby here?
Over here, under the stairs, it's some storage.
Right.
And we've also put conduit in if you want solar. You put solar on the roof, and then it comes straight through, and you can have your renewable energy. You've also got your main line where the internet comes through. Right. And then this side here is your guest toilet.
Right, so we're back again now. So in here is what? This is the kitchen?
Yeah, so we just sort of come through the dining area over here. We'll have folding, stacking doors opening up that way.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Yeah, you'll have your little entertainment area out there.
Right.
And it is kind of...
So you literally, this is like you fold it all the way throughout.
That's it, yes.
And you get all this light coming in.
All the light, yeah.
Wow.
Basically, because they are quite close to each other, you don't want to sort of have anything smaller. Yeah. So downstairs, I've done all of the doors and the windows from floor to ceiling.
So you're creating that space of you don't even see that you're outside. It can be seamless.
Yeah.
You know, you're like
That's
outside, inside. That also creates a bigger space for here.
It makes a smaller area feel like it's much bigger.
Yeah. I like that. Well done. All right, cool. So behind us now would be the kitchen itself.
For sure. So kitchen over here, we would have an island, and then just a sort of a wraparound countertop. What we've done here as well is we've also done the folding stacking window. Right. So it folds out that way, and we'll have a bit of like a bar counter, so you can sort of interact. Nice. And the entertainment will be all out to that corner there.
Okay.
Through here, the scullery. Obviously, the sink, your machines, that type of thing, and then just the kitchen exit to go to the courtyard, where you have your wash line and that type of thing.
My wife should not see this because she's always saying that the kitchen is a mess. And I think if she sees this scullery in a hidden area like this, away from people and things like that,
She'll want one.
yeah. I would also buy this for this particular reason.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
We really do like that. I'm a firm believer in the scullery to hide the mess.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So going upstairs, obviously we're going to have stairs in here and all the works. All right. So once you are kind of like here, this like an open plan, kind of like what do you plan to make this space?
So we've left this area quite large, especially for moving furniture in and out, because narrow little passage. It's always difficult to move beds in and out. Okay.
Yeah.
But not only that, we are going to have a linen cupboard over here, and in that side as well.
Right.
And then this area here is for a little desk if you need, or a lamp, just something over there.
It's a space that can be workable.
Yes.
You know, I'm thinking you can already have maybe a two-seater just here, a small one, or maybe a lazy boy. And you can have your TV up there.
Yeah. Or even over here with the TV there, you got the plugs. Yeah.
So there's enough space here to play around.
Can do something. Yeah.
Nice light coming from that side there.
This is actually the smaller unit. It hasn't got all of the features of the bigger unit that I was telling you about.
Right. So let's jump in here. It's got an ensuite in here.
So this
got a shower here,
is the second bathroom.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Toilet, shower, and basin.
Yeah. Oh, you can be showering once the lights are. I like it here, right? It almost feels like you're showering outside, eh? Yeah. Awesome, nice. I like that. Really is nice. Okay, so you're coming out of here,
and then
jump in here.
Into here. So this will be the third bedroom. I think this is the.
Is it the third bedroom?
Yeah. The smallest out of the lot.
Oh, I thought this was the master's actually. No.
no. This is the third bedroom.
All right, good stuff.
Okay. Yeah, pretty straightforward with the bedrooms.
Right. And another bedroom here with a humongous window.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Like it.
Slightly bigger.
Yeah. Okay, coming in, and this one here is the master's.
That's it. Yeah. So we walk in.
What is this area?
So this is the walk-in closet. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So there'll be cupboards going across there, cupboards going across there, and I think they'll have a little dresser over there.
Right.
Yeah. So then this is just cupboard area, and then this is the room area. So you basically just have your bed, and that's the TV wall.
I like the way you've just put up all these windows, man. Like you can literally just close them off for no lights, and you can literally open them up and
allow some nice light coming in. Yeah.
In the space where we're in COVID right now, you can be at home, but don't feel that claustrophobic because you've got these windows and things like that.
Yeah.
And you can just open up the sliding door and air comes through in here. Nice fresh air.
That's it.
Wow, nice. And in here would be your.
So this is your ensuite.
Right.
Toilet with a closable door. I always believe in that. Yeah, just to have your privacy while you're on the porcelain throne.
Right.
On the side here will be basin. Mm-hmm. That's for a bath. A freestanding bath.
Right.
And then shower over there.
Awesome stuff. I want to kind of like close off by saying that when I look at you and you're doing these awesome things, building and creating homes for other people like this, when you look back from back in the days when you totally knew nothing about property and you are in the midst of doing this, for some people, money is it's no longer just about money. You start seeing things differently. For me, we have literally created more than 200 homes for other people where they call homes. Exactly. We call them tenants.
Yeah.
but they call it home.
Exactly.
And that gives me a very warm, fuzzy feeling to say I'm doing something for someone.
For sure.
I now have employees in my business, and I'm creating employment for some other people. These are all benefits. I get to now shoot videos like these ones with you, but I'm not worried that the work is not happening. It's happening because I've got people that are working there. And it frees up my time. And I'm seeing these benefits coming up. And there's plenty others that have come up. I don't think had it not been for property, me and you would have met. The odds would have been very thin.
Yeah.
And we've formulated relationships as we've gone on. It's a choice on some of these things. And there still is a choice for you that you took back then to start learning. In a nutshell, what are some of the other benefits that you are seeing on your journey as you're going along now?
So, yeah. The people we're meeting are great. We're forming a lot of great relationships.
Yeah.
Making friends along the way from those partnerships, those business transactions. We're making friends.
Yeah.
From doing something like this, we removed a thorn in this little community by removing that horrible property that was causing everybody irritation. The police were here trying to sort things out at least once a week.
Yeah.
And we've uplifted the area because of that. Yeah. So wherever we go, even if it's just a house that I'm renovating and turning into a multi-let, then I'm providing homes for a few people on one property, and I'm redoing that house to make it beautiful. And then in turn, it kind of splashes over. So I've actually seen where I've gone in and renovated a house. My neighbor thought, okay, well, this house is looking good now. Let me put up a fence. And he puts up a nice fence, and now he's doing his driveway. And a very, very old man. And so he's making his house nice. And he said to me, he wants to try and uplift his side as well, because I've made this house nice. So it's a knock-on effect, and
awesome stuff.
Keep the country beautiful.
Thanks, Bud, for having us, ladies and gentlemen. Boom! This is the show on my best property. I have certainly learned quite a few things here with Mike's property that he has shown us. But yes, we are showing you a construction site. So guess what? There's going to be a part 2. Hopefully, when all of the finishings are in here, we will come for a quick visit where we can actually see everything else that Mike has been talking about, and we will round off this project. But for now, keep on watching the other videos.